Hello, I'm Swerving, and I've been working at this event map for nearly 2 years. Today, we'll be focusing on this town, which is called Trivial. The first order of business is going to be to make interiors for the west side of the city, which is also the main housing district. The interiors themselves are relatively simple, and most of them are already done thanks to Rosaic, one of the members of my dev team. Each house will just have the basic necessities: a place to sleep, a place to make and store food, a place to sit, and a nice view. Additionally, they'll all need a way to easily access the roof. In real life, people who live in similar desert environments commonly sleep on the roof during cooler nights, since it can get pretty hot inside. We also want to ensure that there are smaller details like paintings or flower pots to make each house more unique from the others. With all that being explained, let's hop right into a montage and be completing as many interiors as I possibly can. Alright, this side of the city now is full interiors. The next order of business is to give all the shops interiors, which is going to be much more complicated than the houses were, because I want to do some research into how these shops would actually function in the time that this map is supposed to be set in. For an example, let's say I wanted this shop to sell fish. Outside, they would have a display of what they have prepared, along with a list of their stock for that day. Customers would tell employees what they want at this window. Inside, the fish need to stay cold, hence the stone floor. We also need a room to prepare and store the fish. The shop owners would have a deal with the local fishermen to bring up their catch to the shop every morning. The fish would be sorted by species and quality before being cleaned and washed. Before being put in the storeroom, each fish would be gutted and wrapped in seaweed. And with that, we finished this shop. And all the other shops in Trivial. Yeah, this transition took me 2 weeks. You're welcome. So yeah, you can see all the different shops around. Frozen goods, wooden trinkets over there, some various ocean things, plants, the like. But you may notice there are no employees, mostly. Ignore that guy. So that's the next step. We need to put villagers, and we're gonna do custom trades and all that stuff. And I want to show you how, or at least show you how I do it. There's probably a better way of doing this. Let's hop into that. So for this I'm going to be using MC Stacker, which is a website for all sorts of Minecraft command stuffs. We're going to be using /summon villager, obviously. Let's just call this guy, like, Bob for now. To be clear, this is going to change, but this is just to show you. I'm going to do no AI, because I don't want it to run around. And I'm just going to say cleric for now, as an example. Let's say we want this guy to be the painting, for the painting stand. Those are in front of me. So we're going to set the max usage for this trade to 1. We only want this trade to be able to happen once. We're going to set the price to be 2 emeralds. And then we're going to have them sell a painting. So 1 painting. And we can set the variant to be like bomb. And then if we go in game and we summon this, let's say just here. Okay, that's another issue. The command is most likely going to be too long. Ignore that sword. That was used on nothing. So you may need to use a command block to actually summon it in. Summon the Bob in here. So that trade is now here. We are selling 2 emeralds. In this, they're renamed to silver. Ignore that. Yeah, you can see the trade is here. If we want to add more trades, we can just press the plus button here to add a new one. It'll show up at the bottom here. So let's just do another one. It's going to be similar, but just for a different painting. So 1 use, 2 emeralds. Nah, that's not what 2 emeralds. And then another sort of painting. So let's just do 1 painting. You don't need to set this. By default it is 1, but I'm just setting it to set the standard. And let's do this time Donkey Kong. Sure. Here. I'm gonna replace the old one. Command A selects everything, and then you can Control V to paste it. And now we have Bob, and he sells both of those things. Alright, so let's say I've finalized this guy. I'm happy with these trades. We can copy this. We can put it into the command block here. I've actually changed it to a wandering trader just because I feel like that fits better. You can break the command block now. To actually position this guy where we want him, we can do /TP, and while looking at him, we can press tab, or just click on this in here, and this is this guy's UUID. This is essentially the unique ID for this entity. And then @s. If we do that, it'll teleport the entity to us, facing the direction we were. So if I want this guy to be looking out towards like this cart over here, we can just type this command in again, and now he is standing here, and we can trade with him for all these different paintings. hopefully that was pretty comprehensible. There's also obviously a bunch of whole other things you can do in here. There's a bunch of values you can set. You don't have to set all this. But yeah, that's about it. That should be everything you need to know to make a custom villager like this. So I repeated that process with all of these villagers, and you can see they have custom trades and everything, with custom prices, all that good stuff. However, there is an issue, which is this entire side of the city does not have interiors, minus a couple things. So, I need to do that. However, we already did a little time lapse of me doing all of these interiors on this side, so I don't really want to do that again. Instead, I'm going to do a little walkthrough of me detailing these streets, because right now, they are very boring. There's just not much life here. So, let's hop into doing that. My goal with this area was to make it as immersive as possible. I generally feel more immersed when things are at different levels, so I wanted to add hanging signs and fences along your head as you're walking along roads. I hung lanterns and hanging signs from these, and I also added chests and barrels around to just add things in the street since it was pretty empty, along with flower pots and plants. And then behind the school, I replaced the boring stone area with a school ground with just like dirt and stuff, and then I made sure everything is lit up so that monsters don't spawn at night. That's pretty much everything I did, and I think it looks pretty good. And with that, I believe Dryville is complete. We've done the interiors, we've done the exteriors, we've made the custom traders, we've done everything there is to do in Dryville. I think this is pretty good. I like the result. The rest of this video will just be me yapping about a couple things, so I hope you enjoy some cinematics of Dryville and other parts of the map. And yeah, as you may or may not know, I haven't uploaded in pretty much a year, so yeah, I'm sorry about that, but the thing is, I've just tried to go too big of a scale for all of the videos I've tried to make. I'm pretty sure this is the 4th or 5th version of this video, which is annoying, but yeah. Even this video was kind of too big of a scale for me. It took the entire summer to make, so hopefully I should be able to get a video out in the next month or so. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Also, there's gonna be a pinned comment below about a couple things that I need help with, so yeah. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, join my Discord, and yeah. Goodbye. We will.